What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a couple weeks for me. Been incredibly busy over here at South Harmon. As you can tell, I'm still tired. I'm exhausted. The expo was last week. Hammered that out. What an incredible week. We did it for the whole week. I implore you, if you are in the Discord and you get the opportunity to come to the expo 2025, you won't regret it. And if you want to take it this next step, come stay with us D-Gens for the entire week at the shit school. It was absolutely incredible, but I am exhausted. But season's here. It's time to get back on that horse. And I got something really important to talk about right after this intro. Ryan, hit it, man. All right, everybody. The season is upon us. Preseason is in full swing. We are talking about all kinds of stuff going down. Camp battles, snap counts, position battles, who's starting, and probably the worst part about this time, injuries. Injuries have just been brutal so far. We got players out for the year already, and we haven't gotten a single fantasy point out of them. That fucking sucks. But it is what it is. It is simultaneously for me the best and the worst time of the year. As far as the fantasy football schedule goes, it's the best time because we've been waiting all year for this. All I had to talk about all offseason was offseason moves, free agency, NFL draft, rookies, rookie OTAs, veteran OTAs, training camp, practice. We talking about practice?
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Yeah. We were talking about practice. And now we kind of get to see some games being played, and we can feel that we are on the cusp of a fantasy football season getting underway. So that's exciting. But there's a lot of negatives that go with this. There's a lot of bullshit out there, which I don't want to see you fall into this pitfall, right? I don't want to see you fall in the pit, just like me in that stupid thumbnail on here, right? Shout out Redwords. That's dope as shit, by the way, boy. I don't want to see you fall into the same traps that I see most of my casual league mates falling into, and that's just believing anything that they see. Twitter is going absolutely buck fucking wild, and that's probably why they don't call it Twitter anymore, but I'm old, so I will continue to call it Twitter, but throwing the X up is pretty awesome. Throw that X up. But it's going nuts. Hot takes abound. Bullshit abound. Just absurd statements that people believe and take as gospel. And I just want to caution people, this time of the year, most people don't know fuck. They don't know anything. I can sit here, and if you want to call me a fantasy analyst or a fantasy expert, sure. I'm no different than the rest of y'all. I just want you to be aware that most of this shit out here is absolutely garbage, and it has no bearing whatsoever. Can you read between the lines sometimes, and can you find those hidden gems? Can you find those running backs that come out of nowhere, get a little bit more work than we thought of? Absolutely. But I see people doing stupid shit all the time based on bullshit reports that aren't substantiated, that aren't backed up, that are nothing but just a hot take and an engagement grab. And I see them doing bad things like trading picks that shouldn't be traded for these players, spending their entire fab budget on them. More times than not, you're going to lose. This is like a game at the casino. We know what the fucking odds are, and the odds aren't good. The odds aren't good that you're going to win. The odds favor the casino. And in this case, when you're grabbing these obscure players off of waivers or via trade, you're playing against the casino, and you're probably going to lose. Here are some of my favorites from the past, right? I had to go and I had to pull up a few just to stick in the memory brain, because we always seem to just forget about these, right? Like, oh man, I forgot that so many people were hyping up this player before the actual NFL season got here, and then whatever happened to that guy? He did nothing. Disappeared into the abyss. But these were some of the favorites that I could find that pop back into my memory. I'm sure as I go through some of these, I'll have some other ones up there, just so you know how much bullshit goes out there and how much of it comes from mainstream media sources, right? Not just John from Cleveland, not just John's personal opinion, not just Steve from your one sleeper league, your one home league who's got an opinion on every single player. These are big time analysts, people who get paid tons of money, people who are getting tapped into on a daily basis for their opinion, who wildly miss, who completely just fucking whiff it. So one of my favorite ones, and no offense to this guy, I love what he does, I love his show, but he has some wild ass shit sometimes. I think if we were to meet in person, we'd probably be cool, or maybe we'd fight each other. I don't know, could go either way. Colin Cowherd calls Drew Lock a dark horse candidate for 2020 NFL MVP. You guys remember that shit? Drew fucking Lock, dark horse candidate. What the fuck was that about? Oh my God. Maybe he meant 2025. I guess maybe if he takes over for Daniel Jones this year, Malik Neighbors is really him, and next year they draft some offensive line, and Joe Shane gets fired because of his terrible offseason decisions. No offense, Joe. I love the show. Hard Knocks was dope. Offseason, keep that one going. How about this one? Especially where we're at now. Do you guys remember all the reports about Justin Jefferson in his rookie year about this time? Here's the headline. I believe this was for CBS Sports is where I pulled this one from, but it was making its rounds on Twitter. Justin Jefferson, the clear number 3 option at receiver for the Vikings. Olabisi Johnson, surprise number 2 per report. Jefferson isn't on the first team at wide receiver at this moment. What the fuck? Here's the thing, man. If nobody reacted to these, right? If nobody made stupid moves, these wouldn't be in my brain. But I actively was playing Dynasty at this time. People, you may have actively been playing fantasy football at this time. People actually made moves in leagues, trading away or panicking on Justin Jefferson because of bullshit reports like this, right? People are like, oh, okay, I guess I'll take a second and something. What the fuck? What the fuck? How about this is another one that I really love. No offense to this guy too. I'm not fucking fantasy receipts, but I don't hide names. Benjamin Albright. And I had issue with this one when it was going on at the time. 2022, Melvin Gordon. Ben was very adamant that Melvin Gordon was the number 1 running back for the Denver Broncos, and fuck all you Javonte Williams truthers. It's Melvin Gordon's team. This tweet, somebody sent him something saying about Melvin Gordon getting cut, and Ben replied with, Melvin Gordon, LOL, no, not getting cut. Never any danger of that. He's RB1, not close. Period. Had a better day today than 1A. That was his response. A few months later, Melvin Gordon got cut because he couldn't hold on to the fucking football in Denver. He couldn't hold on to the football in Denver. He really tried to sell you, though, on the Melvin Gordon 2022 RB1. Good for him. Bravo. And this is one of my favorite ones. Ian Hartitz. I love his Twitter. He's a great follow. Go follow him on Twitter at ihartitz. 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 Perfect. What a Twitter handle. And this is just the overarching view of one of my favorite players. I still own his fucking jersey. I'm still rostering him today, Antonio Gibson. But Antonio Gibson's NFL career, this is what Ian wrote. In 2020, Ron Rivera says he has a skill set similar to Christian McCaffrey. In 2021, Kyle Allen says Gibson will have a similar role as CMC. In 2022, Antonio Gibson was a starting kick returner. In 2023, Rivera says he's impressed by Gibson, the former collegiate wide receiver in the passing game. There it is. There it is. Antonio Gibson. The next CMC, a CMC again, kick returner, and then, oh my God, this guy who also played wide receiver in college is pretty good in the passing game. Who the fuck would have known? These are the bullshit reports that always come out. A couple of the other ones, do you guys remember when Jamar Chase couldn't catch football because it didn't have stripes on it? That was a good one. All I'm saying is, for every time that we hit on an Elijah Mitchell, James Robinson, Puka Nacua, for example, there is 75,000 other ones of these that we absolutely just gloss over and we move on from. And I just want people to be cautious that this time of the year is the absolute worst for this type of bullshit. I have no problem if you want to go out in your dynasty leagues just personally and you want to throw a few bucks of fab down on somebody, or for example, if you think this Jordan Whittington thing, I have a lot of Jordan Whittington, for example, but if you think like, man, I'd like to have some, you want to go out and pay like a 4th round pick for Jordan Whittington, go ahead. But if you weren't paying that 2 months ago, the fuck would you be paying it now? Why would you send a 3rd round pick or a 2nd round pick for Jordan Whittington based on one preseason game and a couple of coach speaks? Like, just don't. Just don't. Here's the other thing that drives me absolutely fucking crazy is even for the Puka Nacua hits, the James Robinson hits, the Elijah Mitchell hits, for example, by week 2, week 3, week 4 of the NFL season, when they've been out there balling their fucking ass off and putting fantasy points onto your goddamn team or your opponent's teams, if they're not on your roster, you can go acquire these guys for relatively cheap. You now have tons more information. Real NFL games are being played. Real snap counts are getting put out there. Real coaches are saying, hey, this is our guy. This is the guy that we're trying to feed or trying to get involved in our offense. Why not wait? Is the cost that much different? I'm probably the biggest guy who likes to sit and wait and see, and even sometimes maybe I do it a little bit too long. But if you just view me as the average player, Adam can attest to this. Last year, I didn't really believe in Puka Nacua even through 2 weeks. 2 weeks where he's absolutely dominating, which is why subsequently I traded Adam all my Puka Nacua for all of his Quentin Johnston. That's a deal against I know Adam. Adam knows me. We know how hard it is to get deals done between each other because we think very similarly, but we can still find that difference where, man, Mike still believes in QJ and he doesn't really believe in Puka. You can take advantage still in season. Adam didn't have to do that week 1 of the preseason. He didn't have to go and send his QJ for my Puka Nacua, because what if it would have turned out the other way? What if QJ would have been the one who came out balling and Puka was just, oh yeah, really is a 5th round rookie. Barely heard of, never knew him. It happens, man. It happens quite a bit. So I think that's just generally. I wanted to get a quick video out. I haven't done one in a couple weeks. They're going to be coming hard and fast right now. We're getting ramped up. I know I'm jacked to the tits right now. I am jacked to the tits that football season's back. I'm so incredibly excited for everything that we got going on over here at South Harmon. So quick little video today. Just pop this one out. Just be patient. Be patient, be calculated in your assessment. If you like what we're doing over here at South Harmon, please, 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 I beg you, subscribe, hit the like button, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything that we got going on over here. Check out all the links down below too. All the good sponsorships, promos, everything that we got here. And check out all the good shows we got, not only on the YouTube feed, but if you're a podcaster, go check out the podcast feed, South Harmon Fantasy Football. It is absolutely loaded. We have a stacked roster over here and it's only going to get better, man. 2024 is our year. Until next time, I will see you all. Peace.